Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. What is going on, everyone? Happy Ticker Bitcoin Pump Day. Holy moly. So, whenever we had Graham post Halloween 2008 about the ticker Bitcoin being listed, at least for a DEX spot listing on Coinbase, the ticker's been up 60%. So we're going to be covering this. We're going to be looking at some Sprotos. We're going to be looking at the overall markets pumping right now because it's not just ticker Bitcoin that's pumping. Basically, the government could potentially be shutting down on October 1st, but the cryptocurrency markets are not like, I guess, pricing in a government shutdown. But we're gonna get into this and why why this might even be happening and why we shouldn't even be worried about a quote government shutdown, because last time this happened, I think it was a big kind of nothing burger, and we continued on, but we really weren't watching the markets during that period of the government shutdown. But this is very interesting to be leading into this into October. September normally is not a good month for Bitcoin due to historical data. Septembers usually aren't good. I mean, we've had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of Bitcoin's existence of monthly returns where September were just terrible. So we're actually going to be probably ending this September in the green, which could signify a similar move of what we had in 2015, 16, and 17 for the months of October, November, and December. And so we might be getting these particular moves. Now, if we look at the chart that I posted earlier today, I said, look, here's this channel that Bitcoin's been in. And if we were going to see max pain, I feel like this would have been it. This would have been the opportunity for us to get max pain and go down like this and touch that and just see like how much people could stand that. And then we go to the upside. But it looks like we double bottomed here if you're looking at the daily chart. And all we did was copy the move from where we bottomed out here at max pain in June this year on like the 22nd. And oddly enough, it was on a Sunday, bottomed out right here. And then that's what pumped us up to brand new all-time highs from 98K going to $123,000 per Bitcoin. And then we eventually did a double top here, double top bearish divergence that brought us back down into the channel. And this was a good test of this channel. And now if you're looking at this pattern, now that we have some more data, this was, I just extrapolated from what happened here. We went up a good 25, we went up 25%. So all I did was copy and paste the same measured move. So copy, paste, and then I'm just taking this over and putting it on that exact candle where we just bottomed, and I get a date that ends at $136,000 per Bitcoin in November, mid-November. So if this is the case, this means we would be doing a Wyckoff accumulation on the daily, and you can see it right here. So here's the rundown. Here's the test back up to the resistance through line. We call it the resistance through line because you can see that it's all price ranges of previous resistance that was in the months before. And so what we're doing is testing here. And we're going to test back up to that through line of resistance, which is at 119, 120,000. We go sideways a little bit. It's like, look, all this stuff right here. We're going to chop around a little bit. Every time they do the Wyckoff thing, it hits up, tests it back tests a little bit, and then it's off to the races, my friends. And usually it does another measured move that is the same breakout distance of where it hits from the bottom. So for wherever it tests from there. So I would expect it like sooner than later this year we get that measured move we've been talking about. So it doesn't come without the volatility. Obviously, we got the ETF inflows, outflows. That dictates a lot of the price action right now. So it's pretty crazy. All right, so Headband said so many messages from people of heartwarming messages, truly blessed today. Oh, of probably people that were like, you know, full porting ticker Bitcoin and now it's starting to pump. Yes. I was making some funny videos this morning. Let's see, let's play one of them. This one got a lot of laughs. Shout out to all of the people that are watching on X right now too. Make sure you repost this, you hit the heart button, and we get more people in here because we need people to just be bullish crypto right now. And shout out to Crypto Face. He was calling that bottom. He was like, we're calling the bottom, baby. That was the bottom. Because you could look at that and say it's a bear flag. But you could also say if that's invalidated, then it'll end up doing some kind of inverse head and shoulders, because it all just depends on the time frame, the volume, the bullishness, and that could have very well have gone the complete opposite direction. But what triggered it was you have this trigger wave and you see the momentum build in the cipher there, right there at the bottom. You can see you had a trigger, and then that was what popped the volume there. And really it was also a short squeeze. The market was probably wanting to liquidate some traders, probably had a short squeeze, and a lot of shorts got liquidated right in this little pop here, especially that candle. You know, Bitcoin goes up to 2.3%. You bet your butt, you know, we're going to have alts pushing some moves like ticker Bitcoin. So let's look at ticker Bitcoin real quick on this particular chart. And you can see as and Bitcoin was almost kind of like the front runner for Bitcoin moving earlier or later in the day, because we had ticker Bitcoin pump a good 38% today. And then Bitcoin, and this happened on, let's see, if we go to the 4 hour, this happened. I mean, it was just like, it was like a morning wood. I mean, it was basically a morning wood. It was a morning wood for Bitcoin. You know, we were feeling the same way. But look, so then we had this, let's see, let's go to the 4 hour here. Yeah, so right here, we didn't really start like fully pumping until later in the day. And then we started to pump. So Bitcoin, ticker Bitcoin was basically the pump signal for Bitcoin pumping. And we've said in the past that actually Fartcoin is usually a very good leading indicator, and jokes on all of us because farts rise, heat rises, farts are hot, and it's the gas rises in a room. And so it's hilarious that Fartcoin ends up being the comedic relief of being able to see the signal of when Bitcoin's going to pump. It's hilarious. So now hopefully this might actually even be that ticker Bitcoin becomes the leading pumping indicator for even just meme coin sentiment in general, or whenever we're going to go into euphoric points of the market, which are in each time we get into this purple box or even touch it, that's euphoric points. These are the times to buy. And then you can see where people have sold and have made really good profits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay. Why not a lucky 7? But what's going on, everyone? I hope you're doing well. We got to get the egregore in here. We got to get the ticker Bitcoin community in here. A lot of them like to watch on X, so a lot of them are probably watching on X right now. And so shout out to all of the people who are actually going to be attending Token 2049. I think More Light just got off the plane or is about to land soon. And so we wish him safe travels, and he will shill the ticker well, along with OURBIT. Shout out to OURBIT. If you guys want to trade the ticker on OURBIT, you can use my link in the description. And also, we want to point out the fact that we have been bullish on Apex for a little bit now. We're already partnered with them before all the DEX perps craziness and stuff like that. So, you know, we do have proof that we weren't just jumping on the bandwagon, but we actually saw Apex and we were like, we used it in the past because we couldn't get access to Bybit. So yeah, we're just going to use Apex. It's decentralized. They have a lot of cool options and gamified things in there with experience points. You can set up your own vault, your own trading vault. This is what we're going to talk about today on this particular live stream a little bit later. But yeah, so we have that pinned on our X page if you want to check that out. So shout out to Apex. The Apex token has been doing pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, let's go. Let's look at the Apex token real quick. And so you saw a trend here that all the decentralized perps exchanges, whether they do perps, spot, whatever their features are, they're all listing each other's tokens at different leverage where you can short it or long it. And it's so it's just like this competition, this PvP happening with these decentralized perp dexes, and even so it's interesting because they're direct competitors to the exchanges that are facilitating the trading volume on these decentralized perps. So you're like thinking to yourself, like, why would they push people to trade volume on decentralized perps? Well, they make money on both sides. So it doesn't matter if they lose volume in Binance and then it goes into Aster, or volume is lost in Aster and it goes back to Binance. They're just making money in both ends because they all have a stake. Like, they probably mostly have a stake. It's not, there's Binance employees. They're not like Binance is not like directly involved, but they're like kind of like indirectly involved. And then when it comes to Apex, like Bybit is directly involved and fully, is promoting the fact that like this is their exchange. or their decentralized exchange. So you see kind of what's happening here. And then you'll probably have other applications that want to get, just like how Hyperliquid is being used to offer decentralized perps by using Hyperliquid, or if they want to use something else, they might use Apex. So could this be a forward trade where you're buying something early where it's a pretty small market cap compared to, say, what Aster has, and also the trading volume? If you go to DeFi Llama, you can look at the perps trading volume and the perps 24-hour trading volume, 7-day or 30-day, and you can see kind of who's stacking up against the top dogs right now, which is Hyperliquid, Aster, and I'd say let's go into 24-hour, make sure it's categorized properly. Jupiter got hit because Jupiter was getting a lot of volume, but then Ape, started to get this getting a lot of attention, and then obviously Hyperliquid and Aster are taking a lot of trading volume in this sector of the market. So yeah, keep your eyes on that, because that is where I think obviously we're going to continue to see the trading volume probably continue, and the fully diluted market caps of these things are pretty substantial in terms of the dexes. So yeah, let's go back. Let's actually go back to the exchanges. We go to dex and go to derivatives, and you can see in terms of trading volume, yeah, it's crazy. But look at this. But look, actually, trading volume in terms of coin market cap, the top 3 right now is Aster, Hyperliquid, and Apex Omni. So link in the description for Apex Omni. Check it out. But it's pretty cool. I'm glad I was kind of tipped in on this a little bit early, so then I'm not I don't feel super sidelined. At least I was in the right direction. But then Headband pointed out, he was like, "Wait, you had this chart and you didn't buy it?" And then I was like, and I was like, "Yeah, you got me there. You definitely got me there." All right, let's look at this ticker Bitcoin chart. Oh man, see, look at this. Look at these GD sellers. Look at these sellers. And your wallet, you have 38K. Come on. Why? Don't sell. Hold. All right, let's see who all the sellers are. These are all the Jeet hands. These are all the Jeet hands. Look. All these people right here selling right now, they're literally selling at the worst time. Why would you sell on the first few days of it running up 30% or 60%? Why would you do that? This will be, I guarantee you, this will be one of those coins that truly defies gravity here, and $1 is bearish. $1 is bearish. I think more so than we realize, and this is actually what I used to talk about when I first discovered the ticker Bitcoin. I was like, look, I think the ultimate thing about this particular coin is that it's connected with Ethereum very strongly. So when Ethereum does well, ticker Bitcoin does well. The fact that the ticker is Bitcoin, when Bitcoin is being searched online, naturally, I think there's going to be a big portion of people that end up getting led to ticker Bitcoin. And whether they might realize it or not, they might end up buying this Bitcoin thinking they're buying Bitcoin, and that's hilarious. There's probably going to be thousands of people that when the euphoria really starts to hit, Bitcoin's, over 150K, it's 200K, and people are like, I got to buy some of this Bitcoin. and they type in Bitcoin, I don't think you guys realize the significance of this. And so when you type in Bitcoin in Coinbase, now Bitcoin pops up. Pretty soon, I'm going to make sure of it when you use MoonPay and people and normies want to buy Bitcoin, they're going to be able to buy it on one of the most used on-ramps in the world. Do you get it? So this is why I came to the conclusion of being like, if I don't just full port the ticker Bitcoin in as many ways as I can before it gets to that particular point, then I don't know what I'm doing here. But and there will only be one Bitcoin. Any other Bitcoin that's tried to be a Bitcoin usually fails and doesn't have a community to last it. But this, I think, truly has enough schizo people that, like I've made the joke before, don't even know how to, like, they barely know how to sell. So it might help for it might help for the hodability and the pumpiness, you know, the pumpiness of the token. Because just remember, when there's more people buying and less people selling, and there's more people holding the coin, it goes up. And see, all the Solana trenches, the pump funds, the launch pads, all of that stuff that's been happening over the past couple months, which is for the people who are bored. So basically, the people who are bored and who are just not okay with buying and holding and doing nothing, they need the dopamine hits constantly. That's what the leverage trades are for. That's to get that, to scratch that itch. And the trenches are to scratch those itches for people. But what I think is where you actually make true wealth, where you're like, whoa, okay, I just like made like, you know, like 100,000 or 150,000. I mean, you know, when you're like, for some people, that's like changing it up a little bit. I mean, you could make some moves with that. I mean, you could be on the way to paying off all your debt, and I mean, tying up all your loose ends, and, you know, and that's just with just one coin. So just imagine when you have that same mentality with a few different narratives, whether it be maybe crypto gaming, maybe it's NFTs, maybe it's DeFi, it's real world assets. You think like tokenization and stuff like that. It like is going to be huge because I mean it is. Fundamentals, so just like straight blue chip fundamental tokens, and you just buy and you just hold for a little longer than you want. Obviously, there's going to be points where you can pay yourself a little bit, but man, there was something about like at points where people just like were holding tokens and they held them and they kept buying. And you could even probably look at those wallets, and a lot of those wallets, like being the Doge wallets, the SHIB wallets, the Pepe wallets, I mean, they held. I mean, and they didn't even have to hold that long. It was just like a year, maybe 2 years. They just had to fight through the pain. You know, it's like in Gears of War, the main character, you know, are you playing if you ever played Gears of War, fight through the pain. And sometimes you gotta chainsaw your way through this thing. And I think we feel more gratitude to the gains when you really had to like go through something with it. That's what I feel like crypto can be like that, you know? It's like crazy that you can make gains so fast, but then the moment that they're taken away, you're like, whoa, then you could go into a bear market for a year, 2 years after that. And it's happened. And we've been PTSD'd from this, you know? And that's why some people, when they end up getting back in and then their portfolio got freaking nuked and they had to start over from scratch. I mean, like, if you haven't if you haven't had to start your portfolio from freaking scratch, you haven't been in crypto long enough. 100%. If you haven't had to freaking start your portfolio like from freaking scratch at least 2 times over, then you have not been in crypto long enough. Because it's just like a prerequisite. Like, I have had a great looking portfolio and then I've completely nuked my portfolio by my own doing and then by also just the entire market crashing. And so I've had to start from ground zero, I felt like, a few times, even with my channel and things like that. And you just got to keep freaking going. You cannot quit. You have to keep going. And it's just, it is, and I know, and I feel this in my soul, that you will be rewarded for this, for having just that faith and also proving to God and the universe that, like, you're willing and you're like, I do believe in this. I'm willing to suffer for this. And so I believe that we'll all be successful in that. So I think why I've probably become so passionate about crypto, I talk about it a lot. I want to get better at it. I want to learn how to do business by the catalyst of crypto, learn how to talk better, represent myself better, look better, all these things. It's like, it is a, I think this more than ever right now, it's so important to be learning these things, at least especially for me, because it's such an insane catalyst to be able to really open up new pathways and doorways that you might not have ever seen, like ever thought were possible. I used to think so small-minded, and I catch myself still thinking small-minded. And when you think small-minded, you'll let, like, just very small, you'll just box yourself in. You stop yourself from accessing the thought that, oh, I can make $10K a month. I can make $20,000 in a month. Like, you'll just box yourself in and be like, okay with making, $5K is enough. No, it's not. It's not enough. You need to believe that you can earn, like, an insane amount. Even just having that belief and that feeling alone will open up the universe to be able to hand it to you. But you have to be willing to take action on it to then go. And that's the ultimate lesson, is like, God will meet you halfway, but you have to take it and you have to run with it. And it's through people, it's through the community, it's through the people, it's through people giving you an opportunity, saying, hey, you want to go on this, you want to do this thing? You want to help me with this thing? Hey, I got this project. And if you say no, you might have just turned down the signal of where God was leading you to be able to do the thing. So you have to be willing to take the risk. Take the risk. Put yourself out there. And so this is what crypto will help you do, because it assesses your risk profile and assesses what you're willing to do. Maybe you haven't thought about it like that before, but I don't know. All right, how many people do we have watching across all platforms? Let's go. Let's see. All right, we got 84 people on X. Shout out to all the people that are watching on X. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You can totally say hi in the chat. Definitely don't be shy. We got GB in the house. We got Uxski, the Lost Sproto. So we have something that we want to point out. Someone bought the Sproto that I wanted to purchase. And so we actually found out and they messaged us and they said, let's go and see if we can find here it is. So yeah. Finally, after crying every time I saw Sproto Gremlins pumping while I faded them while they were low, I decided to buy one today. And then it ended up being this one. I was like, give me a freaking break. I was like, look, this is me. It's me. It's basically me. So he said, oh no, did I cause drama? Did I buy a famous Sproto? And so, and I was like, I wouldn't say famous Sproto, but some people in the Telegram in the Ticker Bitcoin community, now they recognize me as this guy because they encouraged me. They said, pick, just like whatever Sproto's for sale, just make it your profile picture and just try and buy it. And so I just have not got around to buying it yet. And Trade Intuition's in the house. Let's go. Said he's working on editing some videos. He's like, man, I do not like editing. I know editing is like, trust me, it's a beast. Like, ask anyone who's a true editor. It really is like, it's a skill in its own just to have the patience to edit videos. But luckily now there's so many tools and AI things that kind of make it a little bit easier. But still, at the end of the day, editing's editing. You still need to make good cuts, and trust me, I'm learning it too, my man. I'm making videos myself, and you're always learning in each video where you can tighten up and get a little bit better. Maybe your delivery, camera positioning, your lighting, the way that you're cutting your frames, how you're adding in the extra content, B-roll and stuff like that. A lot of stuff to play with. And sometimes you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Some shit that people have been doing for freaking forever in terms of film, it's just worked. And in terms of like what people pay attention to and what they like and what's easy on the eyes and stuff like that, like it just works. And so sometimes we just kind of have to go back to the basics and try not to be like, because people always will try and convince you that you need to do something new and creative. And it's just like, no, you don't. You can do what works. Like, do what works. And if that, and like that, and it's okay if it's just something that's like just been done. Because at the end of the day, and especially when it comes to music, we're all doing what we like and we're all copying each other. We're like, ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm going to copy that. I saw a drummer doing something and I was like, yep, I'm doing that. Just the other night. Drummer I was watching perform did this cool swell cymbal catch and then caught it. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to do that. And he was doing it right on the one. He's like, one, bah. And I was like, oh, dang. All right, I'm stealing that. And like any of your best, like your favorite bands, like best albums, a lot of the songs that are probably your favorite songs were inspired by like stealing licks from other of their favorite songs. So just do what works, man. Do what works, man. But yeah, editing does take a lot of time. But I will say, I like Clipchamp. I've actually really liked Clipchamp. If you've ever used a Windows computer, we used to have Windows Movie Maker, and then one of the movie editors on one of the Windows systems was absolute garbage. I think it was like Windows 7 or 8. It was like so bad. But then they added this Clipchamp in Windows 11, and Clipchamp I've actually really liked. It's been pretty straightforward. I like the sequencer in the timeline because you can just stack and layer stuff like normal. Like you can just do a normal layer stack. I know. Headband, don't make fun of me, man. You know what I was trying to say. You know what I was trying to say. I was like, I will rally the troops. You know, I can't type half the time. I was trying to say rally. I was just trying to say rally. All right, well, let's check on our, I hope we didn't get, okay. We went down just a little bit. I'm showing you guys, I'm in the process of trying to get a funded account again. I know you're thinking to yourself, Dano, you're washed, bro. Give it up. The bum's lost. Get a job, sir. You're like all the things. I get it. I know. Just stop. I understand. You don't have to get that aggressive with me. I just don't know when to quit. I'm not a quitter. I am determined to get a funded account again and not blow it up. And I'm going to be making rent with it. And all you have to do is just say stuff like this and command it out into the universe and to God and believe. And that's half the battle. Because if you don't, you're never going to try it again. You'll just quit. You'll just be like, oh, I'm a quitter. I'm a loser. And then you just don't do it again. You just beat yourself up. You do, and then you put yourself in the small box again. So I'm not gonna let that happen. I mean, like, what dip, sir? What dip are you looking at? Because, I mean, look at the top of my head. Do you see this green candle smashing out through my head? Look at that thing. Look at this candle that I'm rubbing right now. Candelabra. This thing is ridiculous. But yeah, so if you guys are familiar with Breakout Prop is a prop fund, and prop funds a lot of the times have a little bit of crypto exposure, but most of it's Forex and stocks and things like that. And this one is a prop firm that was promoted by CryptoFace, and if anything, it was like, you know, I trust CryptoFace. He's been in the space for a long time, and he's personally like invested in this company. And also the person who is running it is Trader Main, and he's got a pretty good track record as a trader. He's pushing it, but I've used it a few times already, and I've had two successful funded accounts that I breached and blew up. Which is ridiculous, because it's the strategy that I used to initially get the account passed and fund it. Oh, but yeah, okay. So when I've initially passed, I used an amazing strategy. I was like a robot. I was stop loss trailing like hard, and I was like aggressively. Anytime I got stopped out, it was only for like less than like, I think I set my stop losses at like freaking 1% or like 0.5%, like super tight. And so no matter what, I was just making sure I was like compounding, and I was able to pass it within a week. And I was trying to be patient, as patient as I could with the market volatility. And but what I ended up doing when I got the account, I was excited that I got the account, and I wanted to hurry up and trade. And then I hurried up and blew up my account. And so that's what usually happens in a trading euphoria, is like you'll hit a win, you're hitting wins, and then you end up feeling like you're a genius. And then you throw the rules out the window. You're like popping champagne bottles in your head, and you're like, it's go time. I can win forever. And that's when the market usually chops you up and pigs get slaughtered. You end up you just get chopped. And so knowing that I've done this enough times, and knowing that that's usually what happens, I'm doing my best to recognize this in my trading strategy and in my journey and do my best to not fall for that trap, which is usually self-inflicted. You can't blame the markets. You can't be like, oh, well, the markets did this or Trump tweeted this. Like, no. It's your fault and you need to fix it. How do you fix it? You analyze how I just did and call yourself out and say, you're not a genius. You just were at the right place at the right time and you need to get out at the right place at the right time and not think you're a freaking genius and look at the charts and take it the next day. Take it maybe even just when you win a few trades and you had a really, really good day. Take the next day and cool off. You don't need to go and trade the next day. And that's where I always made the mistake because I'm an idiot. And also I probably have ADHD or something like that. And like probably like the dopamine hits and get tricked by my own self. So if you have that tendency, you freaking, what about copy trading or using buy and sell? No, I don't want to copy trade. I'm not going to copy trade. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use an AI bot. I'm not going to use a buy, limit, sell, whatever copy trade thing. I'm not going to do this. But you know why? Because the best traders in the world, you know what they use? Support and resistance. And you only need to trade for 10, 20 minutes in the freaking day. That is it. All you need to know is support, resistance, volume, and you don't need to know anything else. You can follow some of the news and obviously know when things are like certain things are dictating where the prices are going. But gosh, you look freaking at support and resistance. You study that enough, and Bitcoin and ETH and Dogecoin and all these cryptos that have been on the markets for a long time now have given pretty solid data of where support and resistance are going. So if you just used that alone, you literally just need to have a nice like size of account, and you only have to go 2x or 3x with a couple $1,000 and you probably could do well. So I want to learn this. I want to learn. I don't want to give my learning away to something else. I want to learn it. And this is the thing that we're going to realize about AI is that like eventually we don't need to give everything to AI. We need to be able to give our brains the ability to think, because if we keep giving all of our resource or all of our like, you know, whatever, the stuff that we're supposed to like that makes us smart, that actually makes us smarter. We think AI makes us smarter. It just makes us do things faster, but it's really making us dumber in terms of like actually being able to have critical thinking and have time to like process stuff. We're like, oh, it's only ChatGPT. You know, in 2 seconds, we're like, oh, shit. You know, and we don't even like give ourselves time to even go into our virtual memory inside our brain. We're like, oh, let me ChatGPT it. You know, it's like we don't even like give ourselves time to like learn the shit. And so I want to learn this. I want to learn it, and I want to feel the gratitude of making that damn trade. I pulled the freaking trigger on this bitch. I put the limit order in, and I put the take profit in the stop loss. I said it. I did this. And so I don't know if that's maybe I'm a psychopath, but that's just how I want to be. Maybe I have issues, but I'm sorry, but I want to learn this. And I'm not going to give up and just try and do it the easy way. That's like with me with a lot of stuff. I've never done it the easy way. I haven't done drumming the easy way. I've not done skateboarding and stuff the easy way. I didn't learn like the stuff that I'd learned and what I'm good at doing today. I didn't just like get it the easy way. You have to learn. You have to get embarrassed. You have to like do like you have to have people tell you that you suck. Do better. And then you learn. Well, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday night. I couldn't help it. My wife, she's like, I feel a storm coming. She's like, if you don't live stream, you're gonna like, you have too much energy. And I was like, ah. I said, yep. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah, because if I don't come here and talk to you guys and run my mouth online, then my wife's ears would bleed perpetually. I mean, it would just be so terrible. I don't want to do that to her. Okay, so speaking of AI, we were doing this thing. Can we get this off? Oh, oh no. Where'd my tasks go? Oh, here it is. But I want this like that. Okay. So, speaking of AI, so the one thing I am using AI to do is I want to use AI to help me do just like crypto breakdowns. You know, so what you can do is task out ChatGPT, or you can task out Grok and give it daily tasks, and you can time it to do it at a certain point in the day. So what I do is I was doing this with ChatGPT, but it was kind of, I don't know, it stopped doing it correctly. So I said, okay, you are the ultimate crypto quant. You will feed me information to make me and my followers the most money possible. This information will be used in my live stream that will start at 11 a.m. and you're going to feed me this on the daily at 8 a.m. sharp. And so what it does is it will go through and it will search all of this stuff. And so it says crypto quant briefing, maximize gains for your 11 a.m. live stream. So it says, as the ultimate crypto quant, I'm arming you with razor sharp intel to dominate your live stream. So it says Bitcoin is, so hold on, let me update this. Can I update this? But yeah, so this is an example. This isn't updated. So, and I might actually probably just I could also say to do it at 8. So then when I look at it, I can kind of get a briefing, and then I can get it to update me like right before the live streams. And then I can use like, you know, relevant prices. So yeah, altcoin rotations. We've recently seen Plasma, XPL, 100% monthly all-time high smash. It says entry now, trending hot, target 2x. Even from the price right now, I guess. So it says Apex 270% 24-hour, 270% increase on 24-hour DEX narrative. So Ape, if you're a degen, Bybit backed. So we've been talking about that. So that's cool. It gave us that. The Doge ETF odds is 80% by end of year, in the entry 30 cents. But right now Doge is sitting at 23 cents. So in the target being 50. 43 or 40 something cents was the last resistance of where we had the resistance from the Trump dump. So that this could push, I think, some interesting prices, and this all lines up to like Doge trades very much along with Bitcoin, and you'll notice this over time that Doge. Whales love trading Doge. The market trades Doge like it does Bitcoin and ETH, like a legacy coin, or like XRP, or maybe even Tron, and so these are just very tradable coins. That's why, like, you know, when all these perp dexes, like, the idea is that they just want traders and people that are Bitcoin or ETH traders to be using their platform to get that volume. Like, for instance, like you go to OMNI Apex Exchange, and you go and look at go to the trading volume. Oh, we're gonna cover it too. We're gonna cover it too, Headband. And I told you were like, oh, you don't show any of my stuff love. And I was like, dude, I actually showed my friend who's interested in crypto at a place where I run sound. He's a server there, and we talk about crypto stuff all the time, and he's usually showing me some kind of like thing or token that he thinks is gonna hit. So I showed him money, and I actually sent him and airdropped him. I sent him some money, and I think he said like his balance of it went up already. So I was like, all right, let's go. All right, so for instance, like the Bitcoin trading volume on Apex right now is 334 million in the 24 hours. And then ETH is 100 million. Stellar Lumens is actually getting a push right now, 13 million. So yeah, people are trading. These are the tokens that usually have the highest trading volumes, like Doge, Link, Pepe, ETH, Bitcoin. Gets a pretty big push. But in terms of just trading volume in general, in the top 100, it's pretty fascinating that Doge still is in the top 8. And this is in terms of 24-hour trading volume. It's pretty crazy. Or sorry, in the top 10. And then you got Plasma right above it. And then what's right up under it in terms of trading volume is the Aster token. And then you got Avalanche, and then Cardano's right under there. So Sui, Pump token. We could even chart the Pump token. You know, we're still pretty interested in what Pump can do. You know, I honestly, I still wouldn't fade Pump Fund in terms of them just like pumping their own token. I mean, they unsuccessfully pumped it. You know, it went down with their buybacks over the past like few weeks when they're talking about doing the buybacks. So it's like, I don't know if that really did anything, but my guess is that they at least test up into a new all-time high of going into maybe getting close to a cent. I think like pushing a cent would be ideal. You'd probably do like a fib extension and see that, yeah, that's kind of like where the 1618. Yeah, I'd be looking at a cent. Doesn't line up perfect, but like somewhere around in this area, and you just kind of measure, like do like a little, you know, moon measurement, something like that. I don't know how long that'll take, but I think it could get there. You know, it's just going to be volatile. But this is the representation of the trenches, like maybe as a whole, you know. And there's going to be a lot of incentives, you know, the people getting airdropped, you know, pump tokens at a certain point, but even just like the people getting revenue share from the token creator funds from the streams. Yeah, they took a big hit with a lot of the attention going over to the dexes, but just watch. It's all rotates. This is the thing. People get bored real quick in crypto, and they end up going back, and it's just money rotating. And until it just keeps rotating until we get retail in here, you know, we just need to just stay and maybe just like say, okay, well, if people are just going to keep rotating, figure out at which points it's like kind of like it's all doom and gloom, and that's when you buy the low. Like for instance, Pulse Chain is at that point right now where if you bought Pulse Chain right now, you would be considered sub, like at what Sami says, he's like sub trash human filth. He's like, you know, this is basically like if you are just the worst crypto investor, if you're going to be shilling Pulse Chain, talking about Pulse Chain, this is how people are going to treat you. If you told them, yeah, I picked up, you know, some Pulse Chain today, I bought some PLSX, I thought, you know, the buy and burn thing with it, you know, with the providing liquidity is probably a good idea. You know, I think the incentive token is like, I mean, it's literally like what people talk about when they want to provide yield is the incentive. You know, Hex is great mining. You know, Hex freaking went up, you know, 20,000, you know, X in the previous bull market. People would think you're insane. They would be like, you are absolutely insane. But when you buy something as what could be the unicorn, which is the Pulse Chain ecosystem, you're buying the absolute lows. You're buying when people are going to make fun of you. And that might be one of the craziest moves you can do, but it's all about the asymmetric upside risk, and that's what we're doing. That's what essentially what you would be doing right now with Ticker Bitcoin. Like it's the same thing. You'd be doing the same thing with Wojak. Anything that looks like this, and you're buying these areas, like it's the same thing. Do you guys understand? Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know what. This isn't the one I want to look at. I don't know what happened. What happened to my chart? There it is. Yeah, yeah. But that's how Bitcoin people were. That's how I've talked about this. That's how Bitcoin people were. You have to be like crazy, delusional. You'd be called a psychopath. All right. Got to go fast with those Sprotos if you want to find one you like because they disappear fast. Well, I messaged the guy personally who bought that Sproto, and let's just say I didn't beg, but I said, what's the cheap, well, I said, what's the lowest like you'd let that thing go? So we'll see. We'll see. And maybe just maybe like they'll just send it to me and they'll be like, you can have it for like, I don't know, like $500. You can have it for like, 500 clams or something like that. I don't think there's any other Sproto that looks like me the most than this freaking thing. And I just really like it as my profile picture. And it would be very fitting if this was in my wallet. But it is first come, first serve. That's how the market works. It's first come, first serve. You get the price that you deserve. It's just like this. It's part of the culture. You get the price you deserve. And if you end up having to beg, it's just where you're at. It's just where you're at. If you have to beg for that Sproto, do it with dignity. Do it with pride. Get on your knees and retain. Speaking of the Sprotos, let's look at the Sproto. Well, I've said that I do like the Sprotos that have the hands on their like the hands on the hips, because like I stand like that, like I stand like the Sprotos like this. I really liked that one, that he had like this little green, he had like a green earring and also a nice little necklace. Some of these have amulets. Yeah, some of these aren't listed, but yeah, these up the, so the floor right now 0.42 point, so basically, you know, a little under half an ETH. A little under half an ETH. But I think like the key Sprotos that I think, you know, if I'm gonna like analyze the Sprotos, you want some that have these very key distinct features like the amulet, like the amulet necklace. And something like glossy eyes. Something like glossy eyes. This one has like the starry glossy eyes, but it's clean. It's also has an amulet. These are the ones that I like. Those are the ones that I think have a very distinct look to them. And then you got the ones that like have like a tie or something, but I seem to gravitate more towards the ones that look like they're wearing an amulet. Like this one. Like that one, I like. This one's really cool, but it looks sad. It doesn't look happy. Like I want one that looks happy. I love the one that like the you know, the one that's my profile picture, because it's basically, it really does like look like me with the glasses. It's got the really kind of cool glasses fade, and it's a little stony. It's a little stony. Oh, you said use scatter where Sprotos were originally minted as my favorite place to view the collection. Oh. Rare to common or scatter. Where do you see that? Well, let's look at the chart. So the Sprotos right now, though, in terms of the price, like in terms of the price chart, we're at the, I mean, it's at the lows still. It's super low. At one point, they were valued at around 4 ETH. So I'd imagine, man, the next little spike up. I wonder what they could get to. Oh. Oh, interesting. Scatter to art. Oh, the collection. Ah, it's so bright. All right, let's continue to go down this. I think we started talking about Doge and then we got into, yeah, man, gosh, we could just really get off the train here. Okay, XRP buy alert, entry sub $1.20. Where's XRP right now? Yeah, there hasn't been much, not very much attention on XRP. Well, 2.8, I don't know what that thing's talking about. See, XRP definitely had a nice bottom here. 270. I'd be eyeing. We got nice resistance up here at 314. So I would say, like, I mean, if you're a trader right now, you got some levels that could be respected in terms of the market kind of just magnet up to that price to just kind of get a test of that level. We've been in a nice, like, we broke out of a descending wedge. You know, it did break out, but then it was unsuccessful. Full breakout unsuccessful. So now look, it got extended. So now if you extend it out, now that we have more data, this still could play out. You just have to give it some time. You know, it could continue to, it could go like this, hit that, and then go down again. It could go like in here. But that's if, like, I think all altcoins and everything in the market just looks like shit. So if that's the case, then that just means like the whole market's going down. It wouldn't just be XRP. So if we can get a successful test and breakout, then we would continue, and then we would just go up and try and eye that next level, which would be something right here. Going into that level right there. So obviously I'm showing you something that's like, oh, well, we're either going to go down or we're going to go up. But I'm just giving you the bearish case scenario, bullish case scenario, some levels that you can look at. You can obviously see that it's in a range. You know, your low range of any entry, if we're going to consolidate off of this recent little pump here, would be down here at 270, around this range right here. Pretty decent support. And then you got resistance right in this pinch. And then the next, if we break this, then the next level would be kind of right above there for XRP. Okay. All right. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. All right, let's look at our breakout trade. We've been running our mouth a little bit too much, and we need to see what's going on. We're probably just gonna we might close out all trades and just like take a breather, so then we don't so we don't end up like back too low in our profits. Because right now it's like it's looking good. Like we have fart coins up 150. We have the Doge trade. We definitely would want want to keep open because this one hasn't hit just yet. Like the Doge trade is not there yet. I think from this point you can see it. Like we're gonna eye probably something like this. Like we do a price line here. That's where I want to take profit, and my take profit actually. And what's cool is, if you really look at these trades, they're very protected, and you can use this kind of system too. Once you're in profit, you can even set the stop loss. You can set the stop loss set the stop loss and take profit. You can also just set it at break even. Right now they're all at break even, but I can even just move them into take profit. And that's how I aggressively was able to get to that point of actually passing the prop. But we'll show you with Fartcoin. So modified position, you can see the take profits at 68 cents, which would net me a $414 dollar profit. And then my projected loss at a stop loss would be $50 at 1% of the balance. So pretty tight stop loss. And then for Dogecoin, we'll modify this position. You can see take profit is at 26 cents, which would net a 292. So then at that point, if Doge is hitting that, Fartcoin would probably be around that as well. Then we would already have passed. And then Bitcoin is at a point where I think we have a take. No, we don't have a take profit on Bitcoin because this thing was just going. So, but we should, just to show you, we'll set a take profit for this. And the take profit, I would say, if we're going to look at any next level to crush out of where we just came from, if we're going to look at the hourly chart on Bitcoin here, you can see, we'll move this panel over. We'll move myself over here so then you can see. We're going to look at the hourly so then we can see the recent high. The recent high was at 113,860. You can see that if we consolidate down, you could see even in the graph here that we have some action and liquidity that could be swept here. You can see the candles here representing that price action. You could even say that this might form an inverse head and shoulders. You can see something happening here in terms of like how you look at the trend. You can see there you go. It could be doing something like that. It could continue. It could even continue to run up here. Pop to 113 again, then hit the consolidation. But it's hard to tell right now. But that's on the 1 hour chart. So I guess my point is, like, if you're going to want to have a point where you want to have a stopping point where this trade is eventually going to hit an exhaustion, is at maybe like above 113. So you could say just like take profit at 113,000. It'd be $157 in profit, or if you wanted to even go a step further, make it 180 or make it a clean 200. But then you're kind of eyeing exactly where you're hitting some resistance right here, 113,222. So you could be like literally on the money, 113,200, like see 222. I mean, you can see 113,200, something like that. So I'll say, we'll just do that. And then you can see it, take profit right there. Stop loss is here. And what I could even do is bring this, and this is what I did before, was what I was trailing my stop loss and doing stuff like this. And it really helped to make sure that these trades that were massively in profit, like something like Fartcoin right now, funny enough, you know, I got the stop loss. Here's my entry right here, and then my stop loss. If I just want to like be pretty aggressive, I just kind of put it at the halfway point. Modify that. But we could have a volatile price swing down. It could hit that right there, but then it's just, you know, I'd be okay with that. And it's better than it going down to entry and stopping you out at break even. Or you didn't have a stop loss at all and you went down to break even, and then also it continues to go down, and then it ends up going somewhere like here, like in this area. Then you'd really be upset. So what we're seeing right now happen with Bitcoin is we're seeing that high being tested right now. Potential that that was the stopping point, and we just and we could, and look, and there's the stop loss, but it's in profit. And and successfully, you should take this. You should be able to take this as a winning trading day. If you're ending the day at being, if you started with 5,000 and you ended with 5,182, you shouldn't be upset about that. And that's the whole like mentality in trading, is like you're gonna say, oh, well, I failed because my goal was to hit 200, but I only ended with 183, so I suck. It's like, bro, you didn't lose money, so you did good. What are you talking about? So it's like you have to like have this mental dialogue with yourself to be okay the fact that maybe even if you ended the day with not losing money at all, you just were break even. That's also a successful trading day. So then you have to kind of give yourself those wins. Pretty interesting how that psychology can happen during these trading these coins, man. It's pretty wild. Oh, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know if there's anything else we need to cover. We just wanted to pop on here, show you guys some charts. I don't think there's really any like breaking news. Let's see. Trade intuition, because you are a better trader than I am. What do you think of all these things that I'm talking about? I'm actually really interested in your opinion, because I'm sure you probably you make more money than I do trading. Am I talking crazy talk here? I think when I do start talking about the psychology of trading, I am very interested in it, because I've witnessed and like kind of like I've learned these things kind of just like raw dog in the chart sometimes. And I think it's good to do that. Like people will, like, you know, for instance, like this is a demo account. This is a demo account. And because it's an evaluation, you have to pass it. You have to be able to get it up to, you have to show them that you can like make $500. Like here's 5K. Can you even make $500? But it's funny though. It's like once you actually have the real money, and then you have like the stakes, and you know it's real. It's funny how your mind will you'll trick yourself. And oh, timestamp 2 minutes. Oh. Oh, are you talking about like the pullback? Oh, the thought timestamp to at 2 minutes thought process. Oh, you posted a video?
Generally, whenever we say, oh, it's the weekend, or the trading volume's low, basically what that means is on the weekend, generally, the people who are trading are, you know, going out fishing, they're spending time with the family, they're not at the charts, they're enjoying their weekend, you know, maybe having a picnic or a barbecue. Monday through Friday is when it's game time. Tuesday is usually when we have really nice volume. Wednesday and Thursday are great days to trade because those have more volatility. People buying and selling, prices going up and down. So that's volatility, that's what you want. Friday is usually when we have people taking profit from the week. So that's just the overall thought process when it comes to the days of the week to trade, possibly hold off on trading. Whenever we say, oh, it's the weekend, or the trading volume.
Nice.
This was a setup call for this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. We gave this call here right around 109.857. That's all I got. I do thank you. This is something I do for my VIP group where we just kind of move up our stop losses, make sure we're taking profits, and then of course I update on the trades that we're in. All right, that's all I got. I do thank you very much. Once again, this was a
Oh. Yo, so you were saying the same thing as what you're saying. All right, then let's go. You're like, we're just moving the stop loss. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Shows us always making sure that you are in profit no matter what. You're not just putting in the trade, letting it run up all the way here where you're like, oh, and then it runs all the way back down and you're like, dang it. Because you could just get stopped out right there and then you weren't even at the charts. You know, you were just like messing around. You weren't, you know, just, and then you can't even get back in because by the time it bounced right there, it's already at, it's at back at the stop, it's at back where your stop loss was. You get what I'm saying? So you just gotta hedge against yourself. But that was a nice little dip, nice little test. Asian markets are gonna come in strong. I think the Asian markets are gonna come in strong and they're gonna send it. And then I'm gonna hit my take profits right here. But if not, I'll hit take profits here, stop loss. And we'll be passing this account tonight, baby. And yeah, that's what's so cool is that like people have different ideas because people see the charts in different ways in different time frames. So like different time frames reveal different data and you can extrapolate whatever you want from the charts. And it's usually the whole point of trading is to not be always trying to confirm your bias with like your strategy. You use your strategy and that's fine, but what you have to do is make sure that anytime your strategy is invalidated, you're not naive enough and like pompous that you think it's just going to work every time, because the market will very much humble you and go, oh yeah, your strategy, oh your correlations, oh your blah blah blah. And then you get freaking smashed. So you have to be able to be fluid and know that when it works, it works. And then when you know that the market could just be very, very volatile, you might even need to take a step back and not even do anything yet and just be like, you know, like you get stopped out, you know, you're trying to get into a trade, you get stopped out 3, 4, 5 times. I mean, it's like at that point, it's just like, you know, okay, step away, take a breather, you know, take a walk, whatever you got to do. Why did everything go to light mode? Like all my stuff went into light mode and blind me. Yeah, this is how Ticker Bitcoin woke up this morning. Yeah, Trade Intuition said, I have been humbled many times as a newer trader when everything stopped going up last cycle. Yeah. Me, it wasn't last cycle that, because I wasn't trading at all, like in the last bull market. I was dollar cost averaging. I was dollar cost averaging, so I wasn't trading at all. I was just like buying when it was low, buying when it was like mid, when it was boring, buying when it was sideways, was buying when it was pumping. And I wasn't trading at all. And then I think around 2022 was when I decided I was going to test out trading. I hadn't really put in trades or anything like that. And with that, I remember it was around Bitcoin was like $30,000 or so. And I remember seeing the charts and looking at the charts, and something just was telling me like long now. And so I did. And it turned out that I started with like $100 or $150, and I ran that thing up to like $8,000. I think my account got past about 8K. And I was just like, I didn't even realize what I did. You know, I guess I was so kind of like locked in some kind of way, and the market was being very gracious, and also was just being like, was just like handing us these gains, because from that point we were just like, I think we went up, like we were starting to really crush. But then we all got rugged. We all got rugged really hard. Yeah, it definitely stopped. The fun was over. The fun was over. All right, guys. I think we're running out of gas now. Yeah, I think we're running out of gas. We're getting a little tired, and we're probably just we're gonna watch these trades. We're very curious about these trades right now. I'm pretty confident that we could actually pass this prop fund tonight. We're almost halfway there. We would have already past halfway there, but our initial couple entries, we got stopped out, hit our stop losses. Oh, but everyone who's watching on X, thank you so much for tuning in. We got 122 people tuning in. I don't know if these are bots or real people, but either way, like, thank you guys so much. And make sure you check out my, dang, I almost have 2,000 followers. That's pretty awesome. We're 2 people away from having 2,000 followers on X. Oh, yeah, for real. Yeah, I had to exercise the mouth. But here's the thing that I find, like, you know, I always look at ratios. I look at ratios and metrics of stuff on YouTube and X, and you know, I'm a smaller account. You know, I'm growing. You know, I'm down there. I don't know what tier level you guys would put me at if I was put in one of those tier lists in terms of streamers. But like, in the terms of ratios of followers and me live streaming right now, 122 people, hopefully if those are real people, compared to like Marty Party, who has a lot of followers. Like, he's got a pretty decent amount of followers. There's like 1,800 people tuned into this. So I feel like I could get 1,000 people watching these live streams on X at some point, and I think that would be a pretty good ratio as to like what like follower count I have. Because like most people that have like over 30,000 followers or however many followers they have, and then they live stream and they're on X, they have like 400 people watching or 500 people watching. So I want to get to that point where my ratios are looking pretty damn good. So thank you guys for reposting, hitting that heart button. It really does help. And then commenting as well. We're doing our best, because then hopefully soon, maybe we could get paid by X. They want you to get 5 million impressions whilst battling bots and other accounts that are scammers. I'm like, cool, X. You want us to use your platform every day, but then also do content and use it as a content creator and for our brands. But then you literally let bot accounts and scammers make money and get more impressions. I'm like, cool. You should let accounts like us and other accounts that are on here every day streaming, using your platform, telling people to go on there, especially if we're crypto people. We're like, oh yeah, set up an X account, get on, you know, oh, you want the latest news? Get on X. And then we get chunk change. We don't even get a chance to compete, you know? So I'm voting, and I've been trying to like point out the fact that they need to lower the impressions for getting monetized on X. I think it's crap. 5 million in 3 months is a little tricky when you're battling what I was just explaining. I'm not, and I wouldn't say I'm not complaining. It's just like, it just makes it a little tougher for someone trying to build grassroots, not in a scammy way. We got to go fast. Got to go fast. All right, is the Fartcoin losing steam? Yeah, it's okay. Okay, yeah, we're losing a little bit of steam here. We're losing a little bit of steam on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is taking a little bit of a plunge. We're on the 1 hour right now, but we need to be looking at these shorter time frames, kind of see what is going on here real quick. I think it could be just that just little calm before the Asian storm. Because look, I mean, I think, yeah, aren't the Asian markets opening right now? I hope they're not. I hope they're not gonna dump it on our heads. We don't want that. Dang. Son of a gun, man. We might have to pull the trigger on these trades right now just to like make sure that we're gonna really save this liquidity that we built up. What do you think, guys? Woo. Dang. Oh my gosh. Sell? Yeah, I mean, it would be a good time to sell right now, and then we can just re-enter. I mean, yeah. Yeah, the Bitcoin trade I have I mean, my entries are so good. You can hear me coping with you can hear me coping right now, the tone of my voice. But yeah, it looks like this is a nice little consolidation down. But see, I think it's just like it could be just a little cool off. I think there's volume. It's a fake out, man. It's volume. Look at that volume. Well, I don't think in this particular setup right here, I can do 50%. I have to, let me see if I can. Yeah, so if I wanted to do that, let's see. Yeah, I could just like, I would just like sell limit at, I don't know if I can do half of the position. I think I'm bound to, like, if I do the whole, I have to sell the whole contract. I think that's how this particular one works, because I can only set my stop loss here with, I can't set the balance amount. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Wish me luck, guys. It takes a minute. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but I started to get used to it, and honestly, it's weird. I kind of like it. It kept me very disciplined. And I really liked that it was just like, it made me very robotic. I really just like, okay, I had there, and this was my setup. I was like, these are the coins that I'm going to trade. I was going to trade Fart Coin because it usually is that, like I said, you can really catch a move on Fart Coin, and use it as like a high liquid, like just like crazy printer. And then ETH, you could, ETH, Pepe, it was Fart Coin, Pepe, not as Pepe, not as much because it's a little bit more volatile in terms of, even almost more volatile than Fart Coin. But then Sol, I was interested in trading a little bit of Sol. And then, oh gosh, what happened? Let's go back. Doge, and then yeah, Fart Coin, Doge, Bitcoin, Sol, Pepe, ETH, Bitcoin. And that was kind of the main coins that I was trading on breakout. Those are the only coins that I traded that helped me pass the initial one. But yeah, so essentially you can type in, the thing that I think they need to fix is the categorizing. Like, they need to have a list. So like whenever you click cryptocurrencies here, it needs to like pull up the list. So they need to do that. But really you need to just be trading high volume stuff anyway. You don't need to be like going and trading like these, like low liquidity stuff. You just like want to be trading, like, especially like, look, because like if you have a funded account, you got $5,000 of margin that you can use, and you just literally are catching something like this where you get a run before a bottomed out move. Like, look, this is a bottomed move. You catch an entry right here. I mean, and I could have put the whole dang account, not the whole account, but I could have at least like put like 50% of that account on that trade, still just set a stop loss super tight. Make sure it doesn't go past the daily drawdown, and boom, there you go. I mean, that's your move. So that's really all you needed. And what's really interesting is if you were very, very calculated, you could have just gone back here and said, all right, well, this was some interesting resistance. And if we're going to go and test that, then that's probably where I would like to set my take profit, you know? And then you could be one of those traders where you're shorting that resistance, or you're taking profit and just waiting for the next leg up. But we have to make sure that we don't, you know, we don't get too overzealous, because you know, it's like right now you can get too overzealous. Like you say, oh yeah, it's going to reverse, and then it ends up doing something like this. 10 o'clock market open. I think the market open, Asian markets probably are opening or close to being open. So, got to be very careful. Yeah. Woo! Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, because really, like, they're gonna, I think the Asian markets are gonna want a piece of this action, man. They're not gonna want to short. They can't short it right now. I mean, like, there's too much momentum building up into this week. Like going into Monday. Whew. So this is why I'm liking this price action right now. This is actually great. This is great. This is fun to watch. And I'm glad I'm using this market volatility right now to test myself again, like, you know, test myself on this account, you know. And then it's perfect timing, because when I pass this tonight, I will have a funded account that I can use for the rest of the year. And you see the twinkle in my eye. You bet your ass your boy gonna be paying rent. So let's go. Shout out to everyone who's gonna be paying rent with trading funds. All right, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. It was kind of like an impromptu, random Sunday night special live stream. We're bullish ticker Bitcoin. Want to show you some of the charts. Want to show you the trades. Want to show you the, you know, break down the thesis. Get you feeling neutrally bullish. I think that's a good place to be in crypto, is neutrally bullish and neutrally optimistic. You know, you've gotten burned. You've learned your lessons here and there. You just narrowed it down. You laser focused, and now you know, and that's a good place to be. You can sleep a little bit better at night. So with that being said, my friends, may God bless you. May the light of the Lord Jesus Christ shine on you and your family and your friends and your loved ones. I really hope we continue to show up to crypto, learn, engage with communities, engage with people like Trade Intuition. Go check out his Discord, his page. Check out all the other amazing crypto YouTubers. Just immerse yourself in this economy, because it's going to be what powers everything, you know. And we really are. I want to give ourselves credit and pat ourselves, all of us, on the back, and give you guys credit for being here in crypto first before everyone. Because whilst everyone that's retail is going to just be using crypto because they have no choice, you are going to be literally already so far ahead of the game. It's not even funny. You are going to be just completely ahead of the game, and you're going to feel really good about it. So My friends, thank you for tuning in again. Have a good night. And thanks. Oh my gosh. Is this Dean Adams? The Dean Adams? Like my family? Dean Adams? Yo! Oh my gosh. What is going on? Please call me. Hit me up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it has been way too long. Holy crap. That's so funny. It's rare. It's usually my wife popping in, or it's rare that I have family on it. And then my sister one time, she totally totally surprised me. She popped in on X and sent a message, and I was like, oh my god. So it's cool. But holy crap. All right, yeah, hit me up, please. All right, well, you guys have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin. Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
Hey everyone. I just wanted to show you a really quick metric that I found fascinating. So 41% of the people that have been watching this channel and actually liking the channel and the content have not subscribed. 41% of you, but I will say 58% of you subscribed. Amazing. You guys are doing awesome. But I want to say that the people that are not subscribed yet, please, won't you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the Dojo crew, where we are educating ourselves. We're in the markets every single day. We're live streaming Monday through Friday, and we're also posting content on a daily basis that is keeping up with these cryptocurrency markets. And this is where the money is flowing right now, guys. So if you want to get these updates and you want to be ahead of the game, I suggest you start subscribing and dinging the bell to be notified whenever I go live and post content, because you do not want to miss it.